today we have the honor to have here Dr. Estruch. He's professor at University of Barcelona, but he's also physician at Hospital Clinic. However, today we will interview him because he was the principal investigator of the PREDIMED trial, the Prevención con Dieta Mediterránea. Moreover, he's scientific director of Fundación Dieta Mediterránea. Hello. Well, Dr. Estruch, I would like to ask you several questions to have more knowledge about Mediterranean diet, about how did you start this important trial? What was your research motivation to start this trial?
Well, I am a physician working in the hospital clinic in Barcelona, and I was treating a lot of alcoholic patients, so patients with chronic alcoholism, who has many effects on the body because of a high intake of alcohol. And we were involved in a European trial, the trial to analyze the beneficial effects of wine on health. Mm-hmm. And was surprised because it was the double side of the same coin. The bad side is the excessive alcohol intake, and the good side was moderate wine consumption. But we go further and were interested and to put the wine in the right context, that is Mediterranean diet. So we decided to study the health effects of Mediterranean diet on cardiovascular disease, and Mediterranean diet includes wine, of course.
So in the PREDIMED, which were the key elements to introduce in the Mediterranean diet? Which do you think were the main key?
Yeah. You know that Mediterranean diet is considered a healthy diet because of popular basis, but there was no scientific studies demonstrating that Mediterranean diet, so a high adherence to Mediterranean diet, is really protect against cardiovascular disease, mm-hmm. So protect against myocardial infarction, stroke, and cardiovascular death. So we decided to perform a high quality study, trying to demonstrate that with the high levels of scientific evidence that Mediterranean diet works and protect against cardiovascular disease.
Which would you think would be the difference between Mediterranean diet and other healthy diets that are nowadays in the market or recommended by other scientific communities?
Yeah, Mediterranean diet is the diet that was eaten from the people who's living around Mediterranean Sea from thousands of years. So it's not a new diet, it's a very old diet, and the problem was how to demonstrate that the longevity of the low incidence of cardiovascular disease in the Mediterranean areas is due to the Mediterranean diet. And the difference is that the other diets has been designed according to some scientific studies saying that maybe it's good for healthies, but Mediterranean has proven, and this is considered as the healthiest diet of the world.
Which do you think would be the main mechanism why Mediterranean diet is so healthy?
Yeah, this is a good question because we have demonstrated that Mediterranean works, but we are now studying which could be the mechanisms underlying the health effects of this diet. We believe that one is the combination of the different nutrients, and we think that polyphenols plays a key part of this scenario. And underlying this nutrient, we believe that the key is Mediterranean diet has an anti-inflammatory effect. Almost all chronic diseases are due to inflammation. So a Mediterranean diet has anti-inflammatory effect, and this reduces the incidence of the main chronic diseases, and the basis of this is inflammation. Also has antioxidant effects, but we believe that inflammation has a higher part in these mechanisms than oxidation.
And if I am not wrong, when you are talking about inflammation is also very important nowadays for aging, no? To avoid aging.
Yeah, inflammation is on the basis of several diseases, including aging. So all the things that has anti-inflammatory effect protect against several diseases. You can use drugs, but drugs has side effects. but you can use foods, and foods has an anti-inflammatory effect and do not have side effects. So for the overall population, the recommendation seems to eat a healthy diet like Mediterranean diet because of its anti-inflammatory effect, and if it works, you live longer, so it's a greater longevity. When you don't arrive enough with the diet, you can introduce drugs, but a few percentage of people have to use drugs, not a large percentage of population.
I think you have commented something that is important, because which was the decrease of the incidence of cardiovascular events, the people who were following the Mediterranean diet? Because I think this is a very important point.
Yeah, in the Predimed, we demonstrate the Mediterranean diet decreased the incidence of myocardial infarction, stroke, and cardiovascular death. Compared to a low-fat diet, that was the people has not to drink to eat olive oil, and many foods has fat like nuts, etc. And we observed that was a 30% decrease in the incidence of this composite of myocardial infarction, stroke, and cardiovascular death. But you look only stroke, the incidence reached 50%, and there is no drugs with high effect on protecting against cardiovascular disease events.
So no, this is a very important point. So the effect of Mediterranean diet could be very close to the effect observed by drugs, but without the side effects.
Even a higher effect.
Even a higher.
Even a higher effect. And this surprise of all of us, the power of the Mediterranean diet against chronic disease.
So if you should give advice to healthcare population or to the professionals of healthcare profession, which would be your advice?
Yeah, there's a problem, because nowadays we are living in a society that likes processed foods and quick to eat foods and so on, and this is not Mediterranean diet. We have to come back to the ancient keys of it, and to use olive oil, especially extra virgin olive oil, for cooking, and also to dress in salads, to use vegetables, nuts, fish, a low amount of meat and dairies, and also to put a small amount of wine, always with food, always with lunch or dinner.
And we have an age to give a recommendation of wine consumption. Are these different if it's men or women? We have a different recommendation?
Yeah, because the metabolism of alcohol, and this no wine is alcohol, is different depending of the sex. So women metabolize in lesser degree alcohol, so the recommendations for the woman is to drink half of we recommend for men, around 2-3 drinks always with meals for men, and 1.5 drinks for women, always with meal. And we differentiate fermented beverage from distillated beverage, and we recommend fermented beverage like wine, especially red wine, and no spirits of liquors.
And then, as you know, there is always some difficulties to have adherence for a long period to any diet, no? Especially when you try to lose weight. So if you have to give some tips or some advice to the population that to try to follow the Mediterranean diet for a long period of time, which would be your tips or your recommendations?
Yeah, recommendations to follow the traditional Mediterranean diet. In our study, some people follow the intervention that was a Mediterranean diet intervention for more than 10 years, and the people adhered to this. Other kind of diets is very difficult to follow, like Nordic diet and another diets, but no Mediterranean diet, because it has been proven from a long time and that it works and is easy to follow. That is one of the keys. Mediterranean. You don't need to get a great effort to follow this diet. If you enjoy, it's a tasty diet, and also it's healthy, because it combines all the good aspects of a diet. So you will follow for a long time.
So do you think that into any population including population that doesn't live in Mediterranean diet, we can give tips to them to follow a Mediterranean kind of style, no?
Some people have difficulties with extra virgin olive oil because of the bitter taste of this oil. But if you start to use this oil in little amounts, you can be able to follow it. And if you like extra virgin olive oil, you can go to a common olive oil that has this bitter taste and maybe will be better. But I understand that some people who do not use olive oil, maybe some difficult to use it. But and in the experience we have, the people has started with extra virgin olive oil and they continue it for a long time.
I think you give a very important point, but is this bitter important for health?
We believe that the sweet taste is not so good for health and the bitter taste is better. But you have to be accustomed to eat this kind of food. So you can work a little on this in order to educate your taste and to shift from sweet to bitter.
So if you could give to any recommendations to the society or to more or less to the political people who is giving the recommendation, which do you think should be the future direction going through a Mediterranean diet? Where should we focus our research?
Yeah, the problem we have with Mediterranean diet that the young generations sometimes prefer to eat another kind of foods. So we have to invest in education, in the schools and the university, and also in the factories, in order to educate people to maintain the diet of his fathers, their grandfathers. Because if not, we start to lose this heritage we have received from our ancestors.
And do you think also there is lifestyle important factors in the Mediterranean pattern?
Yeah. This is a good question. We have focused mainly in diet, but diet is a lifestyle, it's not only food. So you have to with diet, with the dietary pattern, you have to increase exercise, so to maintain active around the day and around your life. And also it's important the social aspects, to enjoy the meals with family and friends, and also to be happy. This constitutes the basis of the Mediterranean lifestyle.
You would like to give some final remarks, because I think this is a very important thing, to be happy. But what thing we can do to be happy?
Well, if you enjoy the life, you will be happy. So you have to look for the best part of the life, to enjoy your meals, to enjoy your friends, to enjoy your couple, and to practice exercise, and also to work a little. This is important.
To work a little. Okay. So I don't know if you would like to give any take-home message to finish our interview,
Yeah.
to the population and to our students.
Yeah, the take home is you have to look forward, but taking account what has happened with your ancestor, and you have to look for the future, but taking in account what we have received of our parents and our grandfathers. And this is the best heritage we have received, is the dietary pattern that is Mediterranean diet.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Estruch, for this interesting interview, and I think we will follow your suggestions.
I hope.
We have the honor to have here Dr. Estruch, that, as I have mentioned before, he was the principal investigator and the creator of the PREDIMET trial, that was the scientific evidence that Mediterranean diet is one of the best of the world. So what I would suggest is follow his tips, follow a Mediterranean diet, follow a healthy lifestyle, and be happy.
And enjoy the life.
And enjoy life. you.